She never thought he'd actually do it, but once he did, she couldn't stop crying. And now, in a twist nobody saw coming, Remy Ma is on her knees publicly begging Papoose to come back after his wild, intimate night with none other than Claressa Shields. Let's rewind for a second. This is the same Remy Ma who once called Papoose king, the same woman who had a secret thing with easy-to-block Captain, while pretending everything at home was all love. But after months of lies, leaked footage, and shady hotel sightings, Papoose finally snapped and chose Claressa. And he didn't just choose her emotionally, he chose her physically. Yes, the rumors are true, and now Remy Ma is reportedly sobbing into her phone, asking him to please just come back, while insiders say she's completely losing it behind the scenes. But is this real regret or just guilt? Now that the tables have turned, stay right there, because what we found out about that night with Claressa Remy wasn't ready for any of this. It all started with a picture, one innocent-looking snapshot from the BEGS Awards red carpet Papoose, dressed in sleek all black, standing confidently beside Claressa Shields, boxing champion, media darling, and now, according to the internet, his new everything. But here's what people didn't notice until it was too late: the way his hand was a little too low on her back, the way Claressa leaned into him, not with the posture of a friend, but a woman who knew he had chosen her, the same man who once spent years rapping about loyalty, the same man who held Remy down while she did time, now standing next to a new queen and looking like he had zero regrets. But where was Remy Ma? Not at the BET Awards, not in the crowd, not backstage. She was home, or maybe in a hotel room somewhere, watching the footage like the rest of us, hearts sinking, breath held, realizing what she never thought would happen. Papoose moved on. And here's the twisted part. She knew it was coming, she just didn't think it would hurt this much, because let's not pretend Remy Ma has been innocent in all of this. No ma'am, we haven't forgotten the block captain saga. Let's jog your memory, shall we? Remy was spotted with Easy multiple times, low-key events, friendly dinners, and now deleted video of them backstage at one of his battles. Oh, and how about that one blurry hotel surveillance video that allegedly showed her entering a suite registered under E's real name? She denied it. She laughed it off. She went full PR mode. People always want to bring a strong woman down, but guess what? Papoose was silent until now, and silence from Papoose, that's never a good thing, because when Pap gets quiet, he's not healing, he's plotting. Which brings us right back to Claressa. At first, fans thought it was just innocent. She and Papoose were working on a project together, some sort of promo crossover between hip-hop and boxing. She posted a few cute captions. He shared a couple of training clips, but then the photos started popping up. The chemistry got undeniable, and then the whispers started. Anonymous sources slid into blogs with tips Papoose been flying out to see Claressa on weekends. They don't even hide it anymore. I work in a hotel where they stayed. All I'm saying is 2 rooms weren't booked by the time the BEGS Awards aired. Insiders say Remy Ma already knew what was up, but what she didn't know, and what we now know thanks to a close friend of Papoose, is that the two had officially crossed the line. They weren't just hanging out, they were together intimately, physically, emotionally, and Papoose, he wasn't hiding it anymore. In fact, just days after the BET Awards, he told a mutual friend, allegedly, it was the best decision I made. Claressa makes me feel respected, something I haven't felt in a long time. Few. Now pause and imagine being Remy Ma. You're watching the man you've been with for over a decade, the man you thought would ride or die, hold hands with another woman on national TV, and then admit he's happier with her, all while your past with Easy is still haunting you. But don't worry, it gets worse, because now we've reached the meltdown. According to multiple insiders, Remy Ma had a complete breakdown behind the scenes. She allegedly called Papoose 6 times in one night, left voicemails crying, and even tried to show up at his hotel. She was sobbing, like full-on shaking, said one anonymous insider allegedly close to Remy. She said, I didn't know you would actually do it. I thought we were just mad. I thought you still loved me. He didn't answer, not the first time, not the second, and not the time after that. So what did Remy do next? She went live, not on her main account, of course. Oh no, she used her backup, that private Instagram she only keeps for her close friends and PR circle, but someone screen recorded it, and now we have clips of her wiping away tears, pacing in her bathroom, and whispering to the camera, I was wrong, I know I hurt him, but how did we get here? How do we go from family to strangers? It was the first time Remy moved small to her fans, not the strong Bronx warrior, not the battle rapper, not the bad chicken control, just a woman who played the game and lost to another woman who wasn't even playing. And just when fans thought this couldn't get any more humiliating, part 2 of the scandal hit, because Claressa, she wasn't staying silent either. I didn't take him, she tweeted, he wasn't being held anymore. Wait till you hear what else Claressa said and what new evidence leaked from that BET weekend in part 2, because Remy Ma, she's not just crying now, she might be ready to fight. I didn't take him, he wasn't being held anymore. That one tweet, just 8 words, but it set the entire internet on fire. Claressa Shields had officially entered the chat, and she wasn't pulling any punches, was it? Shade? Absolutely. Was it a warning? Probably, but above all, it was a message. Papoose is with me now, and Remy, you lost within minutes. Twitter was a battlefield. On one side, Team Remy fans, who felt Papoose was moving too fast to publicly and just trying to humiliate his wife. On the other side, Team Claressa, who saw Remy Ma's past with Easy, the block captain, as a real betrayal, and believed Papoose had every right to move on. And then came the leaks, because of course they did. One blog, let's just say a source very close to the BET Award security team, released surveillance footage from the weekend, and what it showed, oh, it wasn't just a photo op anymore. Papoose and Claressa weren't just close, they were all over each other behind the scenes, walking down the hallway, holding hands, Papoose fixing her dress before she walked on stage, and yes, one particular angle captured them slipping into a backstage room and not coming out for 37 minutes. Let that marinate. 37 minutes. Now was their video from inside the room? No, but sources say what happened in that room was not innocent, and that by the time Claressa came out, her lipstick had been completely reapplied. Coincidence? Doubt it, but let's rewind just a bit, because remember, this wasn't a random hookup. This was calculated. Papoose didn't just fall into Claressa's arms. According to insiders, this entire affair was brewing for months, and Remy Ma's betrayal lit the fuse. Here's what one anonymous source allegedly close to Papoose camp had to say. He tried for real. Pap held it together longer than most would, but after she got sloppy with Easy, that was it. The love didn't die, it was murdered. And you want to know the pettiest part? Papoose and Claressa allegedly happened on the exact anniversary of Remy Ma's first date with Easy. Coincidence again? Try revenge. The blogs ran with it. Headlines exploded. Papoose gets his lick back in more ways than one. Remy Ma's tears ain't enough. Papoose and Claressa are locked in 37 minutes that change everything. Bets backstage. Room of secrets. Meanwhile, Remy Ma was spiraling. She tried to post a few unbothered selfies on her main account. You know, the kind full glam captions like "still that girl," but nobody was buying it, because while she was posting pretty, Papoose was posting real photos with Claressa. A new story highlight titled "Healing." One clip even showed him surprising her with roses at a gym event. Fans couldn't believe it. This man went from mixed abs to muscles real quick. One user commented, "Remy gave him pain, Claressa gave him peace." Another one added, "But just when we thought it couldn't get messier, one of Ezzy's battle rap friends went live." Yep, and what he said, he dropped the kind of tea that made even Remy Ma stans go silent. Y'all remember that one time Pat punched Easy at an event last year? Yeah, well, that was after he caught them at a hotel together. What y'all didn't know was Remy lied to his face about it, swore they were just friends. Meanwhile, he had proof in his phone, so now the narrative was shifting. This wasn't just heartbreak, this was manipulation, gaslighting, public humiliation. Remy Ma wasn't just hurting, she was exposed. And remember that backup Instagram account we mentioned in part 1? Yeah, she went live again, but this time she wasn't just crying, she was pleading. "I know what I did, I know I lost you, but I never thought you'd stop loving me. I thought we were forever." Pap fans in the live were torn. Some commented hearts. Others said things like, "Girl, you should have thought about that before Easy, now you want to cry. He told you what he needed, and you ignored it." She went from conceited to defeated. Wild, but then the most painful moment hit. Papoose joined the live for about 20 seconds, didn't say anything, didn't comment, just watched and then left. That's when Remy really lost it. Wiping tears, she whispered, "He's not coming back." It was the moment fans finally realized this wasn't a publicity stunt. This wasn't promo, this was a real woman realizing she lost the only real one who ever stood by her and Claressa. She wasn't saying much, but what she did post said it all. A photo of her and Pap captioned, "Sometimes what breaks you builds us fire. Let that burn." But we're not done, because in part 3, we'll break down what insiders are now calling the final nail in Remy Ma's comeback career, a shocking bet panel, cancellation, whispers of a legal split, and rumors that a restraining order might be on the way. It's getting uglier than ever, and now the streets and the industry are picking sides. Let's be clear, this wasn't just personal anymore. The moment Remy Ma broke down crying on IG Live, the industry started making calls. Bet executives, brand partners, podcast producers, all pulling back, like they smelled smoke and didn't want to get burned, because this wasn't just a messy love triangle anymore, it was a PR wildfire. According to insiders, at Bet, Remy was scheduled to headline a panel during their upcoming Women in Power Summit, the topic resilience, relationships, and rebranding. Oh, the irony, but right after that viral livestream, and Claressa, he wasn't being held anymore. Tweet took off her invite, was quietly revoked. Yep, gone. Just like that, no press release, no explanation, just one internal email that allegedly said, "Given recent events and reputational risk, we've decided to adjust the lineup." Translation: "You embarrassed yourself, you embarrassed us, now stay home." And it wasn't just Bet backing off a sneaker brand Remy had been working with for months, pulled their upcoming collab. Sources claim a promotional billboard that was supposed to drop in Times Square was canceled 24 hours Before launch. Why? Because in their words, we don't want to be associated with unresolved domestic drama that makes headlines for all the wrong reasons. Yikes. Meanwhile, Claressa Shields thriving. She and Papoose popped up courtside at a Knicks game, matching outfits, laughing, clinking champagne glasses in a VIP box like nothing in the world was falling apart. TMZ even caught them leaving a luxury jewelry store, and fans couldn't help but notice that Claressa was wearing a suspiciously new diamond bracelet in her next post, and Remy Ma posting black screens, cryptic quotes. One post simply said, "Lesson learned, don't play with someone who prayed for you too little too late." Most of the internet says yes, but let's talk legal, because according to one source close to the Bronx rappers' inner circle, things are about to get very real. Apparently, Remy and Papoose had joint business ventures, brand deals, appearance contracts, even a rumored co-owned property in Atlanta, and now that Papoose has moved on, he's allegedly lawyering up to separate his name from hers. One leak even claims he filed paperwork to remove his name from an LLC they created together last year, just days after the BET Awards. Petty, maybe calculated, definitely. And while we're on the topic of legal tea, let's talk about the restraining order rumor. Yes, you heard that right. According to a podcast host who claims to have text receipts, Remy Ma allegedly tried to pop up at a private event where Papoose and Claressa were appearing together. Security intercepted her, but not before she allegedly caused a full scene and started yelling about fighting for her family. That's when Pap allegedly told his team, "If she shows up again, I'm filing a protective order. I'm done." Now, has that been confirmed? No, but the rumor was enough to make multiple blogs run headlines like Remy Ma might be banned from Papoose's events, restraining order incoming. Papoose says, "I'm done." After late night scene, Remy can't let go, and it's getting dangerous, and fans are split. Some are saying Remy needs help, not hate. Others are saying this is karma in its rawest form. And then there's the Claressa factor, because as more clips emerge of her and Papoose, people are starting to wonder, is she the real villain here, or just the woman who picked up the pieces? She hasn't clapped back much since that first tweet, but she did post one video where she was hitting the heavy bag in the gym with the caption, "I don't steal men, I attract peace." Phew, the gloves are off. But here's the wildest twist of all. In an unreleased interview clip that recently leaked online, Remy Ma allegedly admits the one thing fans never thought she'd say out loud: "I shouldn't have entertained easy. I knew what I had, I just didn't know I could lose it." There, it is, the truth, the regret, and maybe, just maybe, the end of the empire that was Remy and Papoose. Because let's not forget, they weren't just a couple, they were the symbol of black love in hip-hop, the ride or die, the blueprint, and now just another tragedy. But don't cry for Remy Ma. Two long sources say she's now working on a raw emotional documentary about the entire ordeal, a full rebrand title, rumored to be Redemption, The Day I Lost Him Too. Dramatic maybe, but isn't that exactly what got us here in the first place? So now we're left with one question. Was this all inevitable? Did Remy Ma dig her own grave the moment she let Easy the Block Captain slide into her DMs? Or did Papoose move on too fast, using Claressa as both a rebound and a power move? One thing's for sure, this wasn't just a breakup. This was a public execution of a relationship that once stood for loyalty, endurance, and forgiveness, and now it's just another headline, another tear-stained live stream, another love story destroyed by ego, betrayal, and receipts. But here's what we really want to know. Will Papoose ever go back to Remy Ma, or is Claressa the new queen in his corner for goodwill? Remy bounce back with a documentary, a new mixtape, or another bad decision? And if you think this story ends here, oh no it doesn't, because the DM is still leaking, the friend's still talking, and the next chapter is already brewing. So what do you think? Should Papoose forgive her? Is Claressa really in love, or just enjoying the spotlight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read everything, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Scoop Bazaar, your #1 source for messy, dramatic, and completely unbelievable celebrity exposés that feel just a little too real, because when it comes to the truth behind the fame, we spill it unfiltered, unapologetic, unmatched. See you in the next video, and trust us, you're not ready for what happens next.